Hello, in this Java video we are going to take a look at the for loop. So this is the first loop that we're going to take a look at. So what is a loop? I think you might be able to guess it, loops, and it allows you to run code again and again for multiple times without having to duplicate the code. So this can be extremely useful if, for example, you are maybe going over some sort of data type like an array and you want to print everything out, or you're going over a database and you want to print everything out, or if you want to get input from the user and maybe they provide wrong input, so you want to continue trying to get input until they provide the correct input. For that sort of scenario, the while loop will be the better one, but the principle still applies. So the syntax of the for loop is like this. You put the keyword for, open close bracket, and in here there are three main parts. So the first part is where you set up and declare any variables that you want to use exclusively for the for loop. So if I put int I is a very common variable name, and equals 0. The middle part is the condition for while the actual loop will run. So if this condition is met, then the loop will continue running. When the condition is no longer met, then the loop will stop running. So we're going to say while I is less than 100. And now the last part is a bit of code that is run at the end of the loop after every single pass. So if, for example, we did I++, what this would, ignore the red line, that's just because I haven't put a curly brace, there we go. So this would declare a variable called I, set it to 0. We'll say while I is less than 100, run the code within these curly braces, which it will run because 0 is less than 100. But if we put I++, what that will do is increment I by 1 every single time. You could, also do something like this, so increments it by 10. We'll actually look at that scenario in a second as well. So we're going to do a simple system.out.println, and we are going to say, actually I'm just going to literally print out the value. So if I print that out, as you can see, it's printed out 0 to 100. Because notice the condition is while I is less than 100, not while I is less than or equal to. So if you want to include 100 in this, you do it like so. So it ends at 100 now. If, for example, you wanted it, let's say, between 1 and 100, you set I initially to 1, and then you set the condition to less than or equal to 100. Yeah, it doesn't have to be less than or equal to. You could do something like while it's greater than 100, and maybe starts at 1,000, and maybe you take away instead. There you go. So obviously a lot more values are printed out, but it started at 1,000 and it went down. But remember, it's while I is greater than 100. So if you wanted to include 100 in the printing, you would do it like so. So I'm going to switch it back like so. So like I said, what you can also do is use the shorthand, and maybe we add 10 every single time. So it prints out 1, 11, 21, 31, and that's because it starts at 1 initially. Change that to 0. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. And by the time it gets to 90, after it's done that pass, it'll increment it by 10, so it's 100. It checks the condition, so it says, is I less than 100? Or is 100 less than 100? No, it isn't. They are not less than, they are equal to. Therefore, it doesn't run the print code. You could even use the original sort of longhand version like this as well. So that's it, honestly, for for loops. Pretty much any sort of code that you want, like if statements, variable creation, and other stuff that we'll cover later on in this series, you can put within here. You can nest loops within other loops, just the way you can nest if statements in if statements. Some really, really cool stuff. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next awesome Java video.